Hey everyone! Welcome back to SciTechNext, where we break down the science shaping our world. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that's been both a medical marvel and a public health crisis: opioids. From their role in pain relief to the opioid epidemic and groundbreaking research into safer alternatives, we're covering it all. So, stick around. First off, what are opioids? Well, opioids include compounds that come from the poppy plant, like morphine and heroin, as well as synthetic and semi-synthetic versions like fentanyl and oxycodone. They're powerful painkillers, but they also have a darker side: addiction, dependence, and overdose. Now, let's clarify something people often get confused about. What's the difference between opiates and opioids? Opiates are naturally derived from the poppy plant, like morphine and heroin. Opioids, on the other hand, can be natural, semi-synthetic, or fully synthetic. So, all opiates are opioids, but not all opioids are opiates. Now, what happens when someone takes opioids? In small, medically supervised doses, they relieve pain, cause relaxation, and can even produce a sense of euphoria. But this is where the problem starts. That euphoria is what makes opioids so addictive. Over time, people need higher doses to achieve the same effects, leading to dependence and misuse. So, why are opioids so addictive? It's all about how they interact with our brain. When opioids bind to receptors, they flood the brain with dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure. This dopamine rush can make people feel euphoric, but as the body builds tolerance, more of the drug is needed to get the same high. This cycle can easily spiral into addiction. Here's an interesting fact. Our bodies actually produce their own opioids, known as endogenous opioids. These are natural chemicals like endorphins, enkephalins, and dynorphins. The key difference here is that endogenous opioids are part of our body's natural system to modulate pain and emotions, making them highly beneficial. They help manage pain during intense physical activity or even emotional stress, and unlike synthetic opioids, they don't lead to addiction. Unfortunately, synthetic opioids can hijack this natural system, leading to dependence and, in severe cases, overdose. Globally, opioid overdose is a leading cause of death, accounting for around 80% of drug-related fatalities. According to the WHO, 60 million people worldwide used opioids in 2021, and most are dependent on illicitly produced drugs like heroin. So, why do we still use opioids if they're so dangerous? In medical settings, opioids are crucial for managing severe pain, especially after surgeries or for conditions like cancer. They're an essential tool for improving quality of life when used correctly. In 1990s, opioid crisis developed when pharmaceutical companies assured doctors that prescription opioids were not addictive. This led to a massive increase in opioid prescriptions. Soon, people started developing tolerance, requiring higher doses to get the same relief, and when prescriptions ran out, many turned to illegal drugs like heroin. A shocking statistic: about 75% of people in the US who are addicted to street opioids started with prescription opioids. What makes this crisis even more deadly is the rise of synthetic opioids, like fentanyl, which are far more potent than heroin and easier to overdose on. Opioid overdoses are a terrifying reality. Symptoms include pinpoint pupils, unconsciousness, and difficulty breathing. If left untreated, this can quickly lead to death. But how exactly do opioids work? Opioids bind to receptors in the brain, spinal cord, and other areas, blocking pain signals and releasing dopamine. A study conducted in 2024 have shown that opioid receptors are not just in the brain's reward centers, but also in unexpected areas like the dorsal peduncular nucleus, which deals with aversive feelings. Understanding this could open the door to developing new, non-addictive painkillers. This discovery opens up new possibilities for designing painkillers that are effective without causing addiction. Speaking of research, scientists are exploring new, non-addictive alternatives to opioids. For instance, researchers in 2024 have identified a compound from marine fungi called anaquinazolin B, which stimulates opioid receptors, but with far fewer side effects. This could be a game changer in pain management. And it's not just about new drugs. Beyond medicine, Therapies like mindfulness-oriented recovery enhancement are showing promise in reducing opioid misuse and managing chronic pain. Studies reveal that mindfulness practices can restructure how the brain responds to pain and cravings, offering a non-pharmaceutical way to tackle the crisis. A clinical trial found that an 8-week mindfulness program significantly reduced opioid misuse and even helped participants manage chronic pain. The mind-body connection is proving to be a powerful tool in the fight against opioid addiction. So, where does that leave us? The opioid crisis is complex and there's no easy fix. But understanding the science behind addiction and exploring safer alternatives is key. At the end of the day, opioids are both a vital medical tool and a significant public health challenge. By raising awareness, promoting safer treatments, and supporting research into non-addictive alternatives, we can make a difference. Let us know what you think about the opioid crisis in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to SciTechNext.